Believe me, we wish it didn't have to come to this. We've tried everything. We enlisted the help of Congress. We tried to get the president involved. We've appealed to their sense of fairness and decency, but at the end of the day, we just don't see a resolution on the horizon. So, Mr. Gregory, what exactly is your next move? Frankly, all options are on the table. Work slowdown, some sort of sick out, even a general strike isn't out of question. But we'll start with picketing and see how that goes. Picketing? I don't understand. Where are you picketing? Oh, I think you know.
What do we want? Points! When do we want it? Anytime! A red zone turnover, that'd be amazing! 1, 2, 3, 4. How come we don't ever score? Hey, Russ, what do you say? How many kicks did you throw today? What do we want? Points! When do we want them? Any soon as possible, but not in a red zone.
Hey, baby, it looks like there's a bunch of players out in front of the house.
Oh, they must be here for my birthday party.
Yeah, I don't know, Russ. They look kind of mad.
Nah, they've been that way all year. Now come on, we gotta finish putting my Subway sandwiches out. Subway, eat fresh. Ciara, is everything ready?
Yep. Just toss me that last sandwich and we'll be ready.
1, 2, 3, 4. How come we don't ever score? 1, 2.
She should have had that. Terrible effort. She should have had that. Terrible effort. She should have had that. Terrible effort.
That fucker.
Hello, you're watching Once Upon a Time in Las Vegas, the rise of the greatest sports betting show in the world. As always, I'm your host, Rocky Foré, here with my co-host, the Steamroller. If that even is your name.
If it wasn't, that'd be a weird one to make up, wouldn't it, Rock?
Yes, it would be.
Rocky, you getting any sleep, buddy? You look very tired today.
No, it's not bags under my eyes. It's just eyeliner that I still haven't fully taken off. I did a one-man Rocky Horror Picture Show last night.
Okay, I thought you were doing your one-man retrospective with Derek Carr.
Oh, that's next week, and then the screw tape letters after that.
Oh, very nice, very nice. There's a deep one to start the show off. The old screw tape letters, nicely done. Hey guys, welcome to the show. As Rocky told you, it's Once Upon a Time in Las Vegas, rise of the greatest sports betting show in the world. It's good to be here. We get together every week. We have a little fun. We do some sketches. We break down the NFL in a mostly serious way with some great handicappers that we'll meet here in just a minute. And Rocky even starting to make some picks, kind of coming into his own, not doing a bad job at all. But we want to thank everybody for joining us. And remember, this is the only show that pays you to comment. We want to know what you're thinking. So let us know anything, really. What do you think of the show? What do you think of the sketches? What do you think of the picks? Is there a game you like, a game you don't like? Just drop us a note. Why would you do that? Well, because if you do, you'll be entered in the drawing that we have every Thursday for a chance to win a $100 gift card. We draw it live, and we usually have a fair amount of comments. So put those comments in there, and let's see if we can draw your name. We'll do it with Rocky, and it's always a fun Thursday because it seems like Rocky never remembers we're doing it, and then we just catch him doing whatever he happens to be doing, which is generally a blast. So, yeah, make sure you check that out and drop us a comment. And naturally, we got to have sponsors, and we do have a sponsor. It's No House Advantage. It's fantasy sports redefined. You can win up to 21 times, 21x, Rock. 21 times your original bet by playing against the house and having all of your matchups come in. Or you can play against other schmoes like yourself. Not implying you're a schmo. Maybe you are. Maybe there's other schmoes out there. You know who you are, schmoes. You can play against those people for a chance to win cash prizes when you go to the website, nohouseadvantage.com, or download the app. You make that first deposit, just put in the code WNW to get up to $50 first deposit bonus. So there you go. I'm excited. I'm excited because we got the young guns here. Last week, Rock, we had the old guys. We had Chris King. We had Scott Reichel. Always a blast to have those guys. But this is the new blood. This is the fresh takes, the new generation. And there's nobody more excited this week than Colorado's own Mason Folz. Mason, the Denver Broncos, they're not good, but nobody cares because you got Coach Prime, baby. How do you feel about that?
Hey, Steehn, I'm feeling great. Finally have a chance to fall back in love with the sport of football as this fall's been a little dark. I'm not going to lie. The Broncos have taken it all out of me, but the Buffs could be back, and I'm really excited about it.
That's great. It was a tough year to be a Colorado football fan. You're like, well, the Buffs suck, but this is the year of the Broncos. Ooh, the Broncos not going to be. How about Colorado? How about Colorado State? They're going to, not so much. Air Force? Well, oh my God, they're really good, except Air Force. So yeah, tough season to be in Colorado. Nowhere to go but up, my friend. And of course, we got the Chiefs, Broncos. You and I battling it out. It should be quite a battle there in the Mile High City. We'll talk about that in just a minute. But before we do that, we're going to meet a guy whose old hometown just beat his new hometown. Did you go see the game as the Cleveland Browns took care of business against Houston? It's David Delano, now making his home in Houston. David, did you get a chance to see the game there in the Dome?
Yes, I did. I went to see the game. Just a big week overall for Ohio, just to clear up everything. So my hometown team, Toledo, hometown that grew up right down the street, Toledo Rockets won the MAC. My alma mater, Bowling Green, is going to the a bowl game for the first time in a long time. Got the Buckeyes going to the college football playoffs. Obviously, we all know about that other school up north. And yes, I did go here in Houston to go watch the Browns and Texans. It's a very, very interesting game. I'll kind of get into some of my takes from that a little bit later. But I will say one thing about that is the Houston crowd was not that hard on Deshaun Watson as I thought they'd be. I know that they mentioned, if you read, they said like he was booed and everything, but it kind of seemed more like just those boos that you always give the road team. I got the vibe that still a fan favorite in Houston and that a lot of people aren't happy with ownership and they blame that more so. So Browns fans pretty much took over that crowd, to be honest with you. But I was
woof. It is indeed a great time to be from
IO.
There you go, baby. Yeah, your team's pretty much had a personal vendetta against me, David, as I had the Texans plus the points, plus 8, and they give up one of the cheapest pick sixes you'll ever see and a punt return for a touchdown. Thanks very much. I could have used just either one of those not to hit. Would have been fantastic. And then of course I had I faded Toledo as they hadn't covered the number in 6 straight games against an Ohio team that was playing pretty well, even using KJ Harris there. He'd been more of a runner and been able to throw it when he needed to, and he did none of those things against Toledo. So congratulations.
I got to be honest with you, Scott. I faded Toledo too.
Yep. Okay. Well, I feel better then. I feel better. So yeah, these are the two guys we're going to be picking this week. We're going to run down the card. It's only 13 games, so you don't have as much. We don't have as many games as usual. But don't worry, folks. We've made up for the time by writing really long sketches. You're welcome. Last week, everything I wrote was like a minute. This week, everything's like, oh my God, are we on the 3rd page already? Come on, we got to wrap this up. So it should be fun. I hope you guys enjoy the sketches. Hope you enjoy the show. Rock, any final thoughts? You ready to get to it?
Yeah, if you want to comment what really made Andrew Luck retire this week, I'd love to hear it.
Oh, nice. I'd like to hear that. And of course, don't forget to check out our newsletter. We talked a little bit about it last week. It comes right to your inbox every single day. We don't send them out anymore. We used to send Rocky out on a bicycle and he'd just throw them at the doors, but we found that delivering them via email was more efficient. So make sure you get.
Yeah, but look what it did to my calves.
My God, that's something, buddy. I've seen ostriches with better legs. Good Lord.
Ostriches can't ride a bike.
You're like 6'9", aren't you?
Basically, like an ostrich.
So
I have the same hips too.
Before we start, so get signed up for the newsletter. Definitely do that. It's got great discounts on our premium plays every week. And by the way, speaking of premium plays, you want to get my premium plays? You want to get Mason's premium plays? You want to get David's premium plays? You can do that. We'll put the links in the description of the video, or you can go over to winnersandwhiners.com, click on experts. You can see everybody's record. You can see how everybody's running. And you're like, I want to get on that guy. I want to ride that dude. So make sure you do that. Get yourself the newsletter, and that way you can get a discount on the premium plays each and every day. Okay, Rocky, whose jersey you wearing today?
Torrey Holt.
Solid of the St. Louis Rams, R.I.P. St. Louis Rams.
You want to see my impression of Torrey Holt?
Sure. Fantastic, Rock.
Because of all his broken fingers.
Very good. Very good. All right. So without further ado, everybody's saying, yes, please, no more ado. Let's get to the first game. As always, we'll start with the Thursday night game, and it is a barn burner, as we've come to expect from the Thursday night games.
Wait,
Rock,
can we just go back then? Can we go back to just talking about anything else?
Yes. Let's talk more about Ohio and Colorado sports. I think that would be far preferable to talking about this game. Rocky, you and I wrote a sketch earlier in the season about Al Michaels being bummed out about the terrible Thursday lineup, and that is looking like more and more of a brilliant sketch every week.
He's going to check himself in somewhere by the end of this game.
So I'm sure the look-ahead line on this probably had the total a little bit different between the Raiders and the Rams. Raiders heading there to L.A. 6-point road favorites are the Raiders. Jesus. 44.5 is the total. Well, I don't know what to say about this game. Well, the Rams are out of quarterbacks, all right? Stafford's officially done. I like how they say he's done until at least week 17. Oh, yeah, he's got that date circled. I'm ready to come back now, baby. What are we, 3-12? 3-13? Yeah, let's go. Let's rock. Walford didn't play Monday night. Rams' 2 receivers are questionable. Their top 2 receivers, and so is Aaron Donald. I don't know, guys. I just I can't get behind the third stringer here. I hate to lay this many points with the Raiders on the road. That sounds like suicide. But they have won and covered their last 3. They still have a wisp of a chance. You can squint real hard and see the Raiders finishing 10-7 or whatever, being maybe in the mix. You cannot see that with the Rams. I think the Rams, although they were game against Seattle, I think the Raiders take care of business here. There's going to be a lot of black and silver in that stadium. Give me the Raiders -6.
Yeah, Steehn, I agree with you. I got to take the Raiders -6 here, too. I just don't trust the Rams right now without their quarterbacks. And it looked like they gave it a lot of effort on the defensive side of the field against the Seahawks this last week, and didn't really work out for them. So I see them kind of coming down in this game. And as weird as it sounds, I'm going to trust the Raiders on the road.
For time purposes, I should just pretty much say ditto on this one. I can't disagree with anything that you guys said. Almost kind of hard to find words because you guys pretty much said about everything that I was going to say on this game. But this is basically going to be a home game for the Raiders here. The Raiders offense has been clicking. The Rams defense, which is what they're going to need to step up. They've been giving up 26, 27 points every week. It's tough to trust the Raiders because you feel like at some point they're going to let you down. But -6 here, I have to back the Raiders. If they play up to their potential and don't turn the ball over like they've been doing such a good job of all season, they should win this game by 10 points. Hate to say it with the Raiders, but I think that's the only way to go in this game.
The Rams have the potential to get eliminated from playoff contention this week. Sean McVay is not going to let that team go out with the whisper. I think the Rams are going to fight here. I think their defense is going to get some timely turnovers. Look, Derek Carr versus Jalen Ramsey, if he throws the ball anywhere near that guy, it is going in the end zone and not the Raiders' end zone. Let me tell you, I like the Rams.
You kind of just channeled into like a 1960s era handicapper. Sean McVay isn't going to let that happen. Let me tell you.
Let me tell you why. You see?
That's fantastic, Rock. Very, very nicely done.
I'm trying to catch up on the history of handicapping, and I've only gotten to the 60s.
He's about to hit. He's about to hit Jimmy the Greek. So we'll be excited. We'll be excited for those days. Hey, let's talk about the NFC North. The Vikings at Lions there in Pontiac. Still playing Pontiac, right? Where's Ford Field?
No, they're Ford Field. They're right downtown Detroit now.
Oh, okay, is it? All right, there you go. So, sorry, Pontiac. Better luck next time. But a bad era for Pontiac. They took away their car. They took away their stadium. Pontiac not even a thing anymore. So, anyway,
wherever the stadium went first.
Wherever the Lions play, they're favorites this week over the Vikings. They're a 1-point favorite. 53.5 is the number. Every week, they find new and different ways to disrespect the Minnesota Vikings. By the way, I just checked on this. It's gone to 2.5.
Yeah.
It's gone to 2.5. Lions now 2.5-point home favorites. Lions money pouring in. I don't I have to admit, I don't understand it. Every week they find a new way to disrespect this Vikings team that's the second best record in football at 10-2. And like, you're treating them like you're treating a Pac-12 school. Well, who have they played? Who have they played? Well, you know what? They beat the Jets. Jets were playing really good football. Should they have lost to the Jets? Yeah, probably. But they beat New England. They got hammered by Dallas, but that was right after a very emotional win on the road at the Buffalo Bills, arguably top team in the NFL or in the AFC, certainly top 3 team in the AFC. I don't know what they have to do to get your respect. Lions, they've won 4 of their last 5. They've covered their last 5. I do not care. Skull Nation, I got your back. Disrespected one more time. Just go out there and show them what's up. Give me the Vikings. You want to give me some points with the Vikings? I spit on those points. I don't need them. I'll take the money line in the Vikings.
Steehn, I finally disagree with you early in the show. I'm going to stick with the Lions minus 2.5 now, as there's a lot of money coming in with them right now, and I just trust Vegas right here. I think that Jared Goff is a completely different quarterback at home. He's going to continue to throw the ball all over the field, and the Lions are going to score enough points to cover the spread in this game, so I'm going to stick with Detroit.
Well, I think both of you guys make really compelling arguments, and on this Tuesday right now, a lot of those thoughts that both of you guys have echoed have gone through my mind, and I can't really decide which side I like better in this game. What I do like in this game is the over 53.5 points. I had my last 4 totals plays this weekend in the NFL, so that's been a good trend going for me. Probably going to stay away from the side in this one. You've got 2 explosive offenses. Detroit has been putting up a lot of points at home all year. 4 of the last 5 games in this rivalry have gone over the total. You got the Lions overall 6-2 to the over in their last 8 home games, and the over 7-1 in the Vikings' last 8 road games when they're playing a team with a home losing record. I think over, I know 53.5 is a lot of points, but I expect to see a lot of points even in that fourth quarter. As you said, I could see them exchanging a few scores in the last 8 minutes of this game. So over 53.5 is the way that I'm going to go.
I'm going to use the same logic as the first one, you see? The Vikings can clinch the playoffs with a win this week, but you know what? History tells you the Vikings would choke that opportunity away, but that's not the 2022 Minnesota Vikings. They're turning history around. They're changing it. They make field goals. They win important games. They're going to win this one too and clinch the playoffs. Jared Goff, he's not going to throw 1, but 2 interceptions to Harrison Smith. You heard it here first. Rockies Prappies.
You kind of started Edward G. Robinson and then sort of morphed into Walter Winchell. It was, and here's what we're going to do. See, we're Michigan, Mr. and Mrs. America to all the ships at sea. It was fantastic. That was a fantastic change. You're a master, Rock. You really are.
Look, if somebody wanted me to tell the news about World War II on the radio, I'd be great at it. Bombing in Normandy.
See what those Jerrys are up to next. Okay. All right. How about a little AFC East action as the New York Football Jets travel to Buffalo? Take on the Bills. Bills are 9-point home favorites. 43.5 is the numero there. Yeah, the Jets probably should have beat the Vikes. Had way too many opportunities to do it. Couldn't cash in the red zone, the green zone, the dead zone, wherever they were. They really had a hard time putting the ball in the pipes. But Mike White threw the ball 59 times. He was 33 of 59. I would like to know the last time somebody threw 26 incompletions. I really want to know the answer to that question. But here's the deal. The running game did a nice job. Zonovan Knight had 90 yards on just 15 carries. That's 6 yards per. The Jets defense, well, they have been incredibly strong against the pass. They haven't given up more than 186 yards through the air since week 9. Will the Bills win this game? Yes, they most certainly will. Will they win it by more than 9? I do not believe they will. This game was played earlier in the season in New Jersey. Jets got away with a 3-point win. Will the Bills get some revenge? Yes, I think the Bills win this one by 7.
Yes, Steehn, I like that pick. With this one, I'm actually going to go on a totals pick, as I like the under 43.5 here. I think that the Jets defense, like you said, their secondary's been showing up. I see them challenging the Bills in this one multiple different times. I see this Jets defense standing on their head and keeping the Bills out of the end zone as well for the majority of this game. As I'm expecting a low-scoring battle, as I really like the under 43.5.
Well, Mason, me and you are going to be going head-to-head on this one because with that +9, I'm not so sure about the side on this, but I actually like over 43.5. The last time these teams played, they played a 20-17 game. You had a terrible game out of Josh Allen. I don't think he could possibly play any worse. And you also had Zach Wilson starting for the Jets. With Mike White, this is a completely different offense. And they scored 22 points last week and really, as Steehn mentioned, left a lot of points on the table. Scored 31 the week before that. I understand that they're playing a Bills team that is a much better defense, but I think there's going to be a lot of opportunities to score. Even with all the passing that he's doing, that's either going to lead to some short possessions for points for the Jets or turnovers going the other way and more scores for the Bills. They could get routed, but I think that seeing how that first game went with only 37 points scored and the offenses did so much wrong, I think they could get one more touchdown this time. So I'm going to go over 43.5.
Steehn, what was the question you asked?
About what?
Last time somebody threw 25 incompletions?
26 incompletions.
26. All right. I had a month ago today, Patrick Mahomes had 25 incompletions against the Titans.
How many times did he throw the ball?
68.
Oh, I'd forgot about that. Oh, that's right. Yep, I forgot about that.
And then I've got Vinny Testaverde in 2000, who had 33 incompletions.
Outstanding. How did you find that so fast, buddy?
Yeah, I got the internet.
Okay, very good. nicely done. It's a Rocky Elias Bureau Jr. right there.
Is that
Tampa Bay
Vinny or Jets Vinny or Browns Vinny or Panthers Vinny? Which Vinny was that?
That
It
is
was
great
Jets
question.
Vinny.
Jets
Of
Vinny.
course,
Okay.
it had to be Jets Vinny, man. It just had to be.
Yeah.
Rock, you've got 3 different picks that have been made in front of you. Are you going to make it 4?
Look, here's the thing. Mike White been spending too much time working on the White Lotus. I think I like the Bills in this one. He's spreading himself too thin. You can't throw the ball 59 times and then make an HBO show at the same time. I like the Bills.
All right, very good. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I believe for the first time this season, we have taken all 4 sides. So somebody on this show is guaranteed to win. So just saying.
And it's up to you to figure out who.
Only once can we tell you that 2 people on this show will win, I believe. Is the way that's going to break down, right? So guaranteed half the picks on this segment will be fantastic. All right, there you go. Let's finish up with the game that everyone's been clamoring for. It's the Ravens-Steelers. They're in the AFC Norte. Steelers are at home in this one, and of course, they're a 2-point favorite. 37.5 is your total. You know, this Pittsburgh team really seems like they've committed to the run lately. Over their last 4 games, they've averaged 35 carries per contest. What they want to do in this one is what they want to do in all those other ones. They want to shorten the game and keep the Baltimore offense off the field. Of course, the Ravens have some quarterback questions. We don't know what's the status of Lamar. And even with Lamar, this team wasn't exactly lighting up the scoreboard when he was on the field. I like the under in this game. Give me the under 37.5.
I like that pick, Steehn. I'm going to take a side in this one. I'm actually going to go with the Steelers -2. As if Lamar Jackson can't play, I don't see Huntley being able to consistently move them down the field. And I also trust Kenny Pickett a little bit more, as much as it's weird to say, as they've been running the ball more, which has opened up their passing attack as he's been able to find Johnson more. And Pickens has been a beast. And I just don't trust this Ravens secondary. Everyone's going to think they looked good last week, but they played the Broncos, so it really doesn't mean anything. They're going to be struggling this week. And I see the Steelers coming away with a 3-point victory at least.
Well, Mason, I'm with you on this one. I see this going the same way. These 2 teams seem to be going in different directions, even though the wins and losses may not tell you that. The Steelers running the ball much better than they were early in the season, getting healthy, playing much better defense. they're playing like they're playing for something, whether it's just to not have another losing season or they still believe they have a chance in the playoffs. Right now, I want nothing to do with this Baltimore Ravens team, really, with Lamar or without him, especially in a rivalry game like this. Steelers, small favorite for a reason. I'm going to back the Steelers as well. Steehn, I kind of like the under. The totals is tough for me because I would say my prediction for this would be 21-17. So I feel like that total is almost right on the spot there. But I'm going to go with Steelers -2.
Okay.
Tyler Huntley is 1 for 3 as a starter, and that was in 2021 when the Ravens were actually putting points on the board. I love everything that David's saying. Mike Tomlin, he is working, man. He's going to go out there, figure out a way to win. This is a big rivalry. The Steelers are running the ball. I like the Steelers also -2.
All right. And I think I need to jump in here real quick before all the Steelers fans light us up in the comment section when Dave said have another losing season. For the record, Steelers have never had a losing season under Mike Tomlin. I know there's black and gold tile waivers that are going to point that out. So
thanks for correcting me. I meant to keep that streak alive of winning seasons. Thank you so much.
I know they had 1 8-8, and yeah, it's I know a guy from Ohio. Probably not a lot of love for the Steelers, so I get that.
For people, if anyone who just thinks I'm hating the Steelers, I did a futures video before the NFL season started. You could look it up in August, and I actually picked the Steelers over their win total of 7.5 this year. Well, I don't know if it's going to happen or not. And I addressed them not having a losing season before.
There you go.
So
there you go.
No Steelers hate there.
All right, I'm going to look. They got Carolina, Vegas, Baltimore again, and Cleveland left on the schedule. They currently sit in 5-7, so they're going to have to win. Ooh, they're going to have to win 4 of those games, right? Am I missing a game?
Because there's no 500 seasons anymore.
No 500 seasons anymore. Yep.
Yeah, they could. So
you're either winning or you're losing.
Yeah, I'm not so sure if it's going to pan out, but I'm just saying. I said before the season, so
all right. Well, we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
That up for me.
All right, very good. Hey, that's going to do it for the first segment. That's our longest segment of the day. So there you go. Stay tuned. We got a couple of funny sketches coming up, including you want to find out if your team's going to be in on the OBJ sweepstakes. Stay tuned. We're going to let you know. And of course, don't forget. Been hot on my premium plays lately. 10-4 over my last NFL 14 best bets. Get in on the action. Check out the link in the description, or go over there to winnersandwhiners.com. Check into the experts section and get signed up for my plays. You guys, stay right there. Don't move. We'll be right back.
Look, guys, to be frank, I'm on my last days here. So, with a last-ditch effort, Kyler. What? Thank you for joining us. I'm not going out without a fight. So I've recruited Ted. Lasso. Hey, Cardinals! Who the hell's this brick? That's okay. I hear your concerns, but there's no need for language, and watch that accent. Now, until I get canned, Coach Lasso is going to take over for the time being. And I can't wait to get to know each and every one of you on a personal level. What does this guy know about coaching football? Actually, before I was an esteemed soccer coach in England, I did actually coach. Yeah, I don't care. You don't care? Yeah, I got games to win. Oh, that's a lot coming from you. You haven't played a game since the new Call of Duty came out. Whatever, man. I can't practice anyway. You can't practice, you can't practice. If you're hurt, you're hurt. Simple as that. But it's not about that at all. It's easy to sit in here and sum it up when you just talk about practice. We're sitting here and you're supposed to be the franchise player. And we're sitting here talking about practice. I mean, listen, we're talking about practice. Not a game. Not a game. Not a game. Not a game. We're talking about practice. Not a game. Not the game you go out there and die for and play every game like it's your last. Not the game. We're talking about practice, man. I mean, how silly is that? We're talking about practice. Fine, whatever. I'll throw a few balls. Just stop. Yeah, sure. Good. Why is it crooked? Shut up, Jamie! Who's Jamie?
No one. Just, no one. Now let's go win some games. Now that's a smart guy. Did you get all of that? Okay, OBJ, I think everybody's ready. Gong Boy, you doing all right?
I have a name. This is so degrading.
Hey, you want to intern for Super Agent Zeke Sandu? This is the kind of service we provide. Now get ready to do your thing, Gong Boy.
I should have stayed on Wall Street. Mr. Odell Beckham Jr., presenting General Manager for the Buffalo Bills, Brandon Bean.
Hello?
Yes, come in.
Do you want this open, close, halfway?
Leave it closed, please.
Well, hello, Mr. Beckham. Wow, it's you. My name is Brandon Bean, and I am the GM of the Buffalo Bills, and it is great
Yes,
to...
I know. Gong Boy already told me. What do you've got?
Well, first off, can I offer you this contract with for 3 years, $52 million, $35 million guaranteed.
What else you've got?
I would also like to offer you 2 front row matinee tickets to Josh Allen, the musical.
Yes, I do like the theater.
In addition, we have a gift certificate for 6 free wings for you and a companion for the rest of the year.
If I am by myself, do I get a dozen just for me?
No, it's only good for 6 wings per
Oh,
person.
that's a shame. Next.
Did I get the coupons back? Okay.
OBJ, they're offering $35 million guaranteed. No wings. No OBJ. Next.
Mr. Odell Beckham Jr., presenting New York Giants General Manager Joe Sen.
Mr. Beckham Jr.?
I can't hear you. Come closer.
I bring you greetings from the Big Apple, the city that never sleeps. I also bring you a contract for 4 years and $70 million, $40 million guaranteed.
I like the sound of that. What else do you got for me?
We have this Cat's Deli certificate,
I do like corned beef. Anything else?
2 lounge tickets at the world famous Winter Gardens Theater for Back to the Future the Musical.
Question. Can I get tickets to Cats instead?
Oh, unfortunately, Mr. Beckham, Cats closed back in 2017, but Back to the Future the Musical, I mean, Marty McFly, Doc Brown, great Scott Marty.
Pass. No cats. No OBJ. Now get your rum-tum tugger ass out of my house.
Shut up to the voice.
Anybody else?
Presenting from the far-off land of Texas.
Howdy! How about them Cowboys? I'm Jerry Jones.
Nope. Just get Andy Reid on the phone.
Was it the picture? Don't tell me it was the picture.
All right, everybody, welcome back for segment number 2. And don't forget, check out the newsletter. Links in the description. And, of course, don't forget to drop us a comment for your chance to win a $100 gift card drawing every Thursday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. So drop us a comment. Let us know what you think of today's show. All right, we're taking a look at the Eagles and the Gigantes up there from the Meadowlands. Eagles 7-point road favorites, 45.5 is your number. You know, the Titans held the Eagles to just 67 yards rushing last game. Well, not a problem. Jalen Hurts, and you know what? I'll just do it myself. 29-39, 386 yards in a 35-10 win. Giants, they're fading away, man. They're like a Buddy Holly song. It said not fade away. Nope, too late. They're fading away. They've won just one of their last 5. Eagles, they don't need to bring their A game to cover this one. They need to bring their B game, maybe their B plus game. I think they get there. Eagles -7.
Yes, Steehn, I agree with you here. I'm going to take the Eagles -7 as well. Jalen Hurts continues to impress me, and I see them being more successful on the ground this week against this Giants team. I also have a hard time betting on a team after watching them in overtime this last week, as they just did nothing. They didn't seem like they cared to win, and Daniel Jones seems to be slowly taking a step or two back as he's not lighting up defenses right now. I think this Eagles team is legit on both sides of the field, and they're going to show that in this game.
I'm looking forward to the next one where I'll disagree with you guys because on this one I can't. I like the Eagles -7 as well. I think with the Giants, they're either going to win or they're going to lose by at least 7. The Giants don't really lose close games. And when they play a team with an offense, they don't tend to fare too well. They're regressing. I like the Eagles -7 as well.
There's another team like that I'm going to talk about in just a minute as well. Go ahead, Rock.
The Giants have gone 1-3-1 after starting 6-1. The Eagles, meanwhile, are steamrolling anybody they play, or steamrolling anybody they play. I think it's easy. Eagles. I mean, it is the NFC East, and they've been chaotic this year, so I think this game could also be chaotic. I could also see the Eagles just absolutely running all over the Giants.
All right, very good. Well, David wanted the chance to disagree with one of my picks. Maybe it'll be this one. I got a feeling. How about Browns Bengals there from Cincinnati? Bengals -6, 47 is the number. Well, Deshaun Watson made his debut, as David mentioned last week in Houston. Will he be better this time out? Be pretty hard to be worse. 12 for 22, no TDs, 1 pick. But here's the thing. Not sure it matters. If this Cincinnati team shows up as the same team that showed up against Kansas City last weekend, doesn't matter. This Cleveland team not going to be able to compete with that team, as the Bengals, I think, easily cover the 6 points in this one.
Yeah, Steehn, we'll see if David agrees with both or disagrees with both of us. As I'm taking the Bengals -6 as well. Joe Burrow continues to rise to the occasion, and their weapons on the outside are deadly. Between Higgins and Chase, it's like they have 2 number 1 wide receivers. I just don't see the Browns being able to slow them down. Their defense has also been impressive, and if Watson can't show up, they're going to have a really hard time because Cleveland just hasn't been giving the ball to Nick Chubb as much as I think they should, and that continues to hurt them. I see that happening again in this game. The Bengals easily covering this 6-point spread.
Well, the Browns made me look real bad the first time they played the Bengals because I actually took the Bengals and the Browns destroyed them. For some reason, whenever it looks like Cleveland is the worst team going against the Bengals, they find ways to win. Joe Burrow has never beaten the Browns in his career, but I definitely see that changing on Sunday. I'm on the same side as you guys. The Browns usually keep games close, but that game, I'll talk about a little bit more what I saw. I know it's just one game, but that Browns offense did not look good at all. I thought that was a much more, the Texans are just that bad. It was a tough bet for you having, the Texans as an 8-point dog because the Browns didn't even get an offensive touchdown. He had 2 turnover touchdowns. You had a punt return touchdown. How often does that happen? Right. And the main thing here is the Bengals offense is rolling. The Browns are going to have to score. Deshaun Watson right now is not ready to get into a shootout with Joe Burrow. As Mason said, they don't give the ball to Nick Chubb enough. People a lot of times say Hunt and Chubb. They're not even really using Hunt at all. The fact that Burrow has not beat the Browns yet, he's definitely going to be focused on this one. It's a revenge game. I'm going to go with the Bengals -6 as well.
I'll tell you, if that Browns team, if they can run on the Bengals, because the Chiefs were able to run on the Bengals last week, and they kind of lost focus and stopped doing it, but they were able to run the ball successfully. I would think that's the only path to victory for the Browns is if they can get Chubb and probably both of them going and keep Burrow off the field. The other thing I was impressed with was the ability to keep Burrow out of trouble and his ability to be greasy in the pocket. He's not necessarily a fast guy. He's a greasy guy. He feels the pressure. He feels that hand on his shoulder, that hand on his thigh. He's always moving in the pocket, and I think that's what he didn't have the first month of the season when he was recovering from that appendicitis. I think his mobility was limited, and I think that's the reason they gave up a ton of sacks. Plus, had 4 new starters on the offensive line. So I think it took a time for them to coalesce and for Burrow to regain his ability to scramble. So, sorry, Rock. I don't mean to steal your thunder. What you got here, buddy?
That's all right. I'll be quick. Joe Burrow is no Kyle Allen.
Got that right.
I like the Bengals. Browns couldn't move the ball. The only way they could score is that Kyle Allen was on the other offense. Joe Burrow is Joe Burrow.
Yep, absolutely true. And I mentioned that was my best bet, and I talk about that a lot on my videos and with my premium players, that sometimes you make the right pick, and it just doesn't go your way. sometimes you make the wrong pick and things work out. You'll see that with totals where you've got an over or something, and all of a sudden you've got the miracle 3 touchdowns in the last 3 minutes or something that gets you there. So it goes the other way. So that was a bet. I'd make it again 10 out of 10 times and feel confident in it. But as you were saying, yeah, just the Houston offense was that bad with Kyle Allen. So how about Jags at Titans? A lot of, if you guys have noticed, a lot of intra-divisional matchups this week, and this is no different there in the AFC South as the Titans are at home 3.5-point favorites. 41.5 is the number. I'm feeling a little chalky here this week, guys, but the Jags they're broken. They have lost and failed to cover in 7 of their last 9. They just got manhandled by you guys' favorite team, the Lions, putting up just 14 points versus the league's worst defense, and 7 of those came late when it absolutely didn't matter at all. And this is a team like David, like you were mentioning with the Giants. This is a team only a little more writ large. When they lose, they do not cover. They have not had that happen one time. One time this season that's happened. The rest of the time it has not happened. So they are not. If they don't win, they don't cover. Guess what? They're not going to win. Give me the Titans minus 3.5.
Yeah, Steehn, I agree. I like the Titans minus 3.5 too, but mostly because I think their defense is going to be determined to bounce back after getting lit up by Jalen Hurts last week. Everyone was talking about them being one of the top defenses in the league, and they got lit up through the air. But the Jags, Trevor Lawrence he's still on my list. I don't fully trust him. People were crowning him after their big comeback victory a few weeks ago, but he just didn't look good last week against a Detroit secondary that's been horrible. I don't trust him. I don't trust this Jags offense either, so I'm taking the Titans minus 3.5.
Mason, how you been running lately? I know you had a nice streak going there. How's that been going lately?
Yeah, I was doing all right, Steehn. Thanks for reminding me. I was 18-8-2 in my last college football totals picks, 9-6 NFL run. I'm actually on a 23-9 free pick run right now as well.
Very nice. So if you want to get Mason's picks, don't forget to check out the link or head over to Winners and Winers, click on the expert section. David, what do you think here in this AFC South pillow fight?
I'm going to agree with you guys here. Titans minus 3.5. I probably would buy the 3. I know some people say buying points is for losers, but there's a big percentage chance that they could fall on 3. I just have to when it's on the 3. But the Titans were the best team in the NFL against the spread for the first 10 weeks, and then now they dropped their last 2, both against the spread and outright. Jacksonville has only covered the number in 1 out of their last 7 trips to Tennessee. Even with seeing Trevor Lawrence, I know it's a Tuesday. Once again, when we're recording this, I heard he's questionable, but it looks like he's probably going to go. I don't know if he's 100% or not, but I think this is going to be a nice bounce back spot for the Titans after playing 2 really good teams, and they're going to beat the Jags here and cover.
Very good. Buying the half point. Don't make me get my whiteboard out. I'll do it. I swear to God, I'll get it out. Don't make me do it. Rock, ready to buy that half point?
Yeah, the one thing no one has mentioned yet, important thing, is the Titans have something to play for. Their GM just got fried. It's an awful way to go. It must have been an excruciating death. And these guys are going to put everything on the line to fight for the memory of their GM.
Rocky just got fired. He didn't die.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. I definitely read that wrong. He got fired. I'll still take the Titans.
Okay. Man, I'm glad you brought that up, though. Not in the weird way that you did, but I am glad you brought it up because what do you got to do? You're 3 games up in your division. You're ready to go to the playoffs. You're going to coast into the playoffs. You had the best record in the AFC last year. What are we doing? What?
Hey, I have an idea. Don't trade AJ Brown.
I guess that's it. It's not about the Titans losing, about AJ Brown doing well in his game. Like, oh God, that's the final straw. Fucking AJ Brown. All right, very good. Hey, Rock, take us to break, would you?
You know what? We're having a good time. We're talking about football. Let's have some fun. We'll be right back after this. All right, guys, that was a hard-fought loss. We were in there with the Bucs until the last seconds. Sure, we're going to go back to New Orleans with a 4-9 record, but The division is still in our grasp. We're gonna hit this week and just take every... Andy, what are you doing?
I may have thrown some interceptions. I've had some games with more than 2. I've had better years in Cincinnati than this one little season with all of you. But no matter how this season ends with the playoffs on my couch, I'll be damned if I ain't still singing the blues. Come on, Alvin. I know you're feeling this song. I may have had some off-field distraction.
You can say that again.
I'm lucky I even got to play. Come on, speak up. I wanted to rush for 1,000 yards. And hey, maybe catch 1,000 more. Though it's not looking great for me this season or the next. One thing I know, I'll be damned if I'm not still singing the blues. I've had an incredible rookie year. Been rated as one of the best to ever catch. But I'll admit sometimes at night I miss Justin Fields and the way he'd throw me a catch. But even if I have to end my entire career with the red rifle, I'll be damned if I ain't doing it singing the blues. All right, give it a try, Jameis.
Oh, now you want me to participate?
I'll try. All right, Taysom. I basically hold this whole team together. If you don't believe me, my paycheck says so. I never told anybody this, but one time I was alone in the quarterback's room and I had a sip of coffee and I kind of liked it, so I had another. When I may be going straight down to hell, but the whole way I'll be going there, I'll be gosh darned if I ain't singing the blues. Can defensive players sing the blues too? No, DeMario, get out of here. This is our thing. Go get your own thing. This is an offensive thing. You guys are already good. God. What are you all staring at? Come sing. My name is Jarvis Landry. I only came here to be because I was you. Come on. What? Sing. It's time to sing the blues. I'll be damned if I ain't still singing the blues. What? Why don't we all take a day off tomorrow? God, you guys suck.
We'll make sure that intern knows that I can ruin her life. Hello again, everyone. I'm Chip Winker, and welcome to Hot Seat, America's favorite NFL game show. Today, we'll meet 3 coaches with their jobs in jeopardy and talk about some of the things they've done and find out whose seat is the hottest.
I don't even know why I'm here. I once won 6 games.
You sure did. Unfortunately, that was 13 years ago with the Broncos. Any idea what your record is since that streak?
I don't know. I just keep my head down and try to get the team.
Sorry, Josh, I had to cut you off there. Since you started with winning your first 6 games, you've gone 7-27 since. That is not good.
Hey, my chair's getting warmer.
That's right, Josh. This show is literally called Hot Seat.
It's so hot.
And you just lost. Good to see you brought the same attention to detail in reading the rules that you bring into your weekly game planning. Ouch. Shots fired. Hey, what did I do? For starters, you spell your name with a K, and if it were up to me, you'd be fired just for that. That's not fair.
Calm down, Special K's. You want to talk about fair? You were sub 500 even with the god Patrick Mahomes for 3 seasons. In those 3 years, you never once beat an FBS team with a winning record, and the one bowl game you went to, you lost it.
Hey, this thing is getting really hot.
Then after going 24-24 after 3 years, the Cardinals were apparently worried about another team poaching a winner like you, and they gave you a 5-year extension.
Good Lord, and that's the hot seat. What a loser.
Yes, Mr. Hackett, let's talk about losers. After overseeing the decline of Aaron Rodgers, the Broncos hired you because they thought you could lure Rodgers. Little did they know, however, that Rodgers was so happy to get rid of you and your 1970s offense that he went on a week-long ayahuasca binge to celebrate. Jeez Louise, that is really hot.
Yep, and it's only going to get hotter after your dreadful performance against the Ravens last week. You have wasted the #1 scoring defense in the NFL by having one of the most putrid offenses in the history of the league, and you're an offensive coach. Oof, my tushy. You know what? I can't believe any of you had jobs, and my guess is in about 2 months, you'll all be unemployed. Goodbye. That's the hot seat. That's our show for today. I'm Chip Winker reminding you to put that ice pack in your pants because you'll never know when it might be your turn on the hot seat. Good night, everybody. Once again, if you want to make $100, comment below. Comment the real reason why Andrew Luck retired from the NFL. And you'll be entered into a drawing. And on next Thursday, me and Steehn are going to be drawing a name and giving that person a $100 gift card. And you know what? It's very easy. And when you win, you should probably actually claim it because you'll get $100.
There you go. Oh, man. When you first started there, I thought you were going to do like the Rodney Dangerfield from Caddyshack when like, hey, you want to make $100? Like, hey, you want to make $12 the hard way? Yeah, make $100. That's it. Do that. And, but by the way, I just wanted to comment. You can tell when you look at me and Rock, you can tell who the working stiff is and who's the kid that owns the company. The guy has a new jersey on every week. I got the same jersey. I think it's a fucking Morris Stroud jersey. No, it's actually Tony Gonzalez, but, shout out to the 3 people that know who Morris Stroud is, by the way. You're my people. So, yeah, thanks for that, Rock. Thanks for squeezing out that budget so I could have the same jersey for the last 7 seasons. Appreciate it. Anyway,
yeah,
apropos
you look good in it.
Oh, yeah, thanks. Apropos of nothing, pew, pew, pew. It's the Battle of Texas. Yeehaw! It's the Texans heading down there to the Big D. Going to get them some Big D. Actually, they're going to the Big A. They're in Arlington to take on the Cowboys at Jerry World. Cowboys, slight favorite. 17 is the number here. 45 is your total. You know, in real life, I'm gonna tell you this. It's gonna be a team total overplay on Dallas. That's what my real play is going to be. 17 is such a massive number. But raise your hand if you want to get involved with Houston and Kyle Allen. Holy shit. We saw how bad that offense was last week, and now they're going to play a defense that's better. Come on. I think the Texans' ceiling in this game is 10 points. I'm not lying. I think the Cowboys can put up 28 in their sleep. Give me the Cowboys minus 17. I don't love it. I'm probably not going to lay 17 in real life, but there's just no way I'm going to get involved with the total, and there's no way I'm going to get involved with the Texans here.
Yes, Steehn, I completely understand where you're coming from. I just have a hard time laying 17 points. I know the Texans have not been very good this season, but I'm going to take them plus 17 on the road. They just need 1 or 2 plays to go in their way to flip this game, I guess you could say, in their favor if they only lose by less than 17. They're going to lose regardless, but I see them covering this spread. That's just a lot of points.
So, Mason, you do not subscribe to the theory that you hear some old-time gamblers say that if you wouldn't bet them straight up, you don't bet them with the points.
It's a very good point. But is that usually with 17 points, I wonder?
But it's the Texans. Come on.
That's a good point.
Dave, you ready to lay 17, brother?
I'm ready to lay 17, brother.
There it is. There it is.
I normally would not. This kind of makes me think a couple weeks ago where there were some big numbers that I stayed away from with the Dolphins being a favorite over the Texans and even the your Chiefs being a favorite over the Rams. And maybe they didn't cover by a lot, but they still covered. This Texans team is really that bad. Like I said, the Browns won at double digits without scoring an offensive touchdown. Dallas, the way that they've blown out teams this season, if there's any team that can really rout them and run up the score, this Cowboys team is scary when they get rolling. This could get really, really ugly. I'm probably gonna actually I'm probably gonna lay this 17, to be honest with you. I like the boys in this one.
You know what this is like? This is like if I was going to race Tyreek Hill from the goal line to the 50, and they put me on the 35, and everybody's like, my God, Tyreek Hill is so much faster than him. But go, yeah, but look at the fat fuckers on the 35. But look at Tyreek Hill. I don't know. I think Tyreek Hill would beat me. I think his 50 versus my 15, I think he'd get me. And I think that's what this game is like. Yep, we're going to put the Texans on the 35, and the fucking Cowboys are still going to go flying past them. That's the way I feel about this. Rock, what do you think? Who wins between me and Tyreek?
I'm going to be the guy on the sideline in my steamroller jersey with a big old sign cheering my boy on. I got the Texans in this one. I think the Cowboys are going to go in, absolutely destroy the Texans. By the end of the second quarter, Dak Prescott's not going to be in. Zeke, Tony Pollard on the sideline. Gallup on the sideline. CD Lamb doesn't even need to play this game. No. The Texans, all they're going to do is score a couple garbage touchdowns against some practice squatters and make this number happen. I got the Texans. Also, in the middle of us talking on Tuesday, the Rams claimed Baker Mayfield. Does that change anything for Thursday night?
Lay it on the Raiders.
Wait a minute.
I'm changing mine to the Raiders now.
I'm all over the Rams. Oh, man. Well, all I know is Baker Mayfield's going to have a lot bigger house to take care of, and it's a lot nicer than that one in Cleveland. He's got his work cut out for him. I'll say that. Mm-hmm. You know who I feel bad for? I feel bad for the guys making the Heisman House commercials that had Baker in them. If you had Baker in it, surely they must have been scaling him back a little bit this season. I really haven't noticed, but
I think they did. It's been a lot of Tebow.
Yeah, it's been a lot of Tebow trying to drive the stick. Apparently, apparently the Lord doesn't want him driving a standard transmission. So I don't know. Dolphins -3 heading to LA to take on the Chargers. Oh, it's a big. You could go to both these games. Rock, be a big week for you. You can go see the Rams on Thursday, and the Chargers on Sunday.
I might go to the Chargers game.
And then you come home, turn on the TV, and maybe see some good football. Dolphins 3-point home favorites. 52 is the number. I don't know if you guys are aware of this or not. Tua is starting to struggle against good defenses. Luckily for him, Chargers don't have one, so that'll work out well. They just put up 17 versus the Niners. However, they averaged 33.7 the previous 4 games, and the talented defenses they took on there. How about Houston, Cleveland, Chicago, and Detroit? Yes, indeedy. I think the Chargers fall in that type of category. I don't know who wins, but I do know that this one is going to go over the total of 52.
Yes, Steehn, I agree. I see a lot of points being scored in this one, but I'm actually going to take a side in this one. I like the Dolphins -3 as the Chargers haven't impressed me over the last few weeks. They looked horrible against the Raiders this past week. And Tua, like you said, he struggles against good defenses, but the Chargers don't have a good defense as I see him being able to throw the ball all over him, get Waddle, get Hill involved as they're going to score a bunch of points. And Herbert's going to make 1 or 2 mistakes that are going to come back to hurt him. And the Dolphins are going to end up covering that spread.
Waddle only had 1 catch for 9 yards last. I didn't watch that game. Did he get hurt? Was there a problem? Or did they
No, he was playing. Yeah, he was in there. It was just he wasn't getting the ball. It was very interesting. I played him in fantasy, luckily.
Because I didn't see him like on an injury list or anything. Interesting. All right.
Yeah, no, he's good.
Dave, who you got here?
I'll keep it short and sweet. I agree with both of you guys. I do like the Dolphins to cover Mason, but Steehn, my favorite play in this game is also over the total. As you mentioned, how many points the Dolphins have been scoring. Played a very good defense last week in the 49ers, but they had scored 30 points in 4 straight games before then. And also don't forget that game against the Texans, they scored 30 points in the first half. They let their foot off the gas in the second half. Didn't score any. You know, the Chargers still should at least get to 21 points in this game. They don't have a good defense. I think that this one goes over the total. I think that we're probably looking at something in the range of at least a 31-24 game or something like that. But I think we get more than 53 points in this game.
The Chargers got Justin Herbert, and they aren't doing anything to help him out. That guy's gonna make like Drew Brees and get out of San Diego. They don't do anything to help him out. Dolphins, easy. That's a team. That's a real team. Dolphins are a real team. They got coaches that care about their quarterbacks. They got coaches who
are trying stuff. They got players that are faster than your players. They care. Chargers don't care. They never have. I like Dolphins.
They don't care. Sometimes I'm glad we're not more popular. I can't imagine the heat we would get. The Chargers, they just don't fucking care. That's it. They don't care. They don't want to win. They're just out there collecting a paycheck. Those guys are nothing. Nothing.
Yeah. Look, if I met Joey Bosa on the street, I'd look him dead in the eyes and say, "You don't care. You're faking that injury."
Thank you, Jesus, for
Tomlin's never had a losing season, idiot.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh. Hey, speaking of winners, how about those Panthers? They're heading on the road to take on the Seahawks. That's Rocky's team, by the way. If you guys don't know, if you're new to the show, Rocky's favorite team is the Seahawks. As I am, of course, a Chiefs backer. David is a Browns fan, and Mason likes to read. So there's that.
This year for sure.
Seahawks at home -3.5. 43.5 is the total. I don't know if anybody else sniffs anything in the air, but this line seems a little funny to me. But here's the deal. Panthers defense has really played well lately after just getting torched. Last 3 weeks, giving up just 12.7 points per game. Carolina, not good on the road straight up. There's 0-5 straight up, but they have covered twice. So reading the tea leaves in this, I think Walker is that's a big injury. And I don't know, maybe Rocky's got some additional information on this. I think he's 50-50, kind of what I'm hearing. Homer was out last game. He's questionable for this one. DJ Dallas was not the answer, unless the question was, who has a really cool last name with a stupid first name? Because it's not abbreviated, it's spelled out. He had 37 yards on 10 carries. That ain't getting it done in the NFL. It's going to stand for not for long, son. You're going to get a little better than that. Seahawks, they have been
I got the answer for you, Steehn.
What's the answer, buddy?
The name is Wayne Gallman. The last time the Seahawks saw Wayne Gallman, he went for 16 carries for 135 yards. So they said, why not Wayne Gallman? Wayne Gallman just signed with the Seahawks.
Sure, why not? And thanks for getting right in there before my big closing line. Appreciate it. Well, here it is. I'm ramping it up again. The Seahawks have been playing with fire lately. I think they get burned in this one. Let's see.
You can't give Al Michaels ammo.
That's going on the bulletin board. I like give me the Panthers +3.5. This number seems suspiciously small. This is saying with the 3-point home field advantage, you're telling me that the Seahawks are really just a half point better than the Panthers. I think Vegas is sending a message I'm receiving. I got my ears on. I got it. Give me the Panthers.
Yeah, Steehn, I can keep this one nice and short because this line looked fishy to me too. I thought there had to be a reason why that the Panthers are only a 3.5 point dog. But I agree. I think their defense is going to be the story in this one. When I first looked at this game, I was like, oh yeah, the over, obviously. That's going to be easy. The Seahawks score a bunch of points and they can't play defense. But the Panthers defense has shown up, like you said, the last few weeks. I see them doing that again in this one. Geno Smith's finally going to have a few tough plays. And the Panthers are going to end up covering that spread.
Guys, I know the line looks fishy on this one, but there's a team that the line has looked fishy at for me a lot this year that hasn't panned out, and it's been the Carolina Panthers. Yes, their defense has been playing better. They played the Broncos, who we'll talk about in a little bit. Everybody's defense looks good against the Broncos, and the Ravens really have not been lighting the scoreboard up either. I'd have to take the Seahawks in this game. Even with Sam Darnold, I mean, he had a decent game. They still were 2 for 12 on third downs against the Broncos. He had 164 passing yards. I don't think that they're going to be able to keep up in this game. I know the line looks fishy, but I cannot back the Panthers. I can't do it. Seahawks -3.5. I did end last week very strong in football. Right now, I'm on a 21-11 best bet run, and over the weekend, hit the best bet Friday and Saturday in college football, and then also hit my best bet on Sunday and Monday in the NFL. So I've got some good momentum going in the NFL. Having a winning season overall, we had a strong bounce back last week after having a losing week the previous week. definitely been killing it with the totals. So go ahead and check out winnersandwhiners.com in our expert section. Link in the description as well, where you can get those premium picks because the train is starting to roll once again.
Thanks again to Dave. Fine record and keeping his eye on the clock as we try to bring this in under 2 hours. Had my best bet Friday, also on Saturday, Sunday, and then we hit it on Monday too. So instead of just saying I hit my last 4, I like it. He builds the suspense because you're like, well, he's hit 3 in a row. I wonder how Monday's going to go. Well, yeah, Monday too. So nicely done. Everybody on a nice NFL run. Yours truly included. Rock, how's your NFL run been?
I don't run. I'm more of a jogger kind of guy.
What yard line would we have to start you on for you to beat Tyreek Hill? 20?
The back of the end zone. Give him a 10-yard head start.
Oh, nice. Nice. It's cocky Rocky.
Yeah.
That
But
way
I get like a little like a slingshot that I'm allowed to use.
Yeah.
So he has to like dodge my slingshot as I'm like running.
I like his chances. I really do.
Yeah.
He's small, fast, and I don't know that you're proficient with a slingshot.
Robin Hood.
You doubt me?
I do. I doubt your sling. I don't doubt you. I doubt your slingshot abilities.
Yeah. We'll see.
Okay.
Tyreek Hill, if you're watching this, let's find out.
Yeah. Let's do it. It's all for charity. It's all for charity. Rock and Seahawks going to cover this one. I know that's your team.
Yeah, I'm with David here. I think the Seahawks could easily cover this game, especially if Ken Walker plays. If Ken Walker doesn't play, I could see this being a little closer of a game. But once again, Panthers on the road. They've been struggling on the road. If this was in Carolina, I probably would say Panthers. But I'm going to go with Seahawks.
Is that a thing now, or are we just saying Ken Walker? I heard somebody else.
I don't know. I think
Walker.
I've heard both, Kenneth and Ken.
Okay. All right. Very good. I did not know that. Learn something new every day. Hey, guys, we're just about done. We've got one more segment remaining. We'll be back and talk about some pretty good football teams and the Cardinals. So stay tuned for that. And what do we got? Keep in mind as you want this, we so wanted to use the song Everybody Hurts. Just saying. All right, you guys enjoy that. We'll be right back with you after these messages.
Hey! Hey, Lawrence! You suck! You hear me? You suck!
And that's another first down for the Lions.
Yeah! Yeah! Hey, Lawrence, why don't you go back home and do some surfing?
Surfing? I grew up an hour from Chattanooga.
Hey, Lawrence, you throw the ball like a girl. Like a little girl. I bet Sarosh, a little girl from Little Woman can throw it farther than you. Hey, Lawrence, I know you can hear me. Hey, my grandma's way faster than you.
That seems unlikely.
Hey, Lawrence, I bet you think you're hot shit. Yeah, no, a dog's butt's better looking than you.
Well, that's just mean. And a little hurtful.
And the final score is your Detroit Lions 40 and the Jacksonville Jaguars, led by that fraud pretty boy with the noodle arm, Trevor Lawrence, 14. Thanks for coming, and don't forget to run over Trevor Lawrence on the way home.
Wait, did anybody else just hear that? Guys? I didn't think I could throw it for.
My grandma's faster than you. My grandma, she's faster than you.
Gotta be changing on my own.
ugly. And he sucks, and he sucks, and he sucks, and he sucks, and he sucks.
All right, welcome back to Once Upon a Time in Las Vegas, the rise of the greatest sports betting show in the world. I'm your co-host, Scott Steehn, joined by Rocky Foré, and of course, our guest handicappers this week, David Delano and Mason Folz. Don't forget to get all the cool stuff going on at Winners and Winers, including the newsletter, premium plays, all that good stuff. And most importantly, because it could mean an instant $100 for you, make sure you comment on today's video. Let us know what you're thinking. It could be your plays for the week. It could be what you think of the show. What do you think of Rocky's makeup? Whatever it is, just drop that comment in the comment section. You'll be automatically entered in our drawing that we do every Thursday for a chance to win $100 in a gift card. So there you go. Hey, let's take a look in the NFC West as the 49ers host the Buccaneers, a former member of the NFC West, by the way, for no apparent reason, but yep, there you have it. Same reason the Cardinals were in the East. It was a wacky, wacky time. But the Niners 3.5 point home favorites, 37.5 is your number. Well, how many people are excited about seeing Brock Purdy play? I know I am. It's I don't know what they do in Iowa. They grow tremendous defenses and terrible, terrible quarterbacks. And Brock Purdy falls right in line with that. You know what? I roast Brock. I kid Brock. I kid. He was actually pretty good. They kept a pretty tight leash on him. He went 25 for 37, just 210 yards. That's coming out to right about your 6 yards per attempt. Not ideal there, but he threw 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. More importantly, I have zero faith in this Tampa Bay offense. On Monday night, they were just dreadful. I don't know if Tom Brady has about 10 good minutes in him, but that's how it appears. That's exactly how it looks. He does absolutely nothing for the first 50 minutes of the game. And then he stretches, he gets up, he yells at a couple guys, calls somebody a fuckhead. He's good. He's ready to go. He goes in there, he leaves 2 touchdown drives and said, all right, I'm time to go home now and cry into my pillow. So I don't have any faith in this Tampa Bay offense. I don't have a ton of faith in San Francisco offense right now. However, their defense is fantastic. I think they absolutely stone this Buccaneers offense. Probably not going to be a lot of home runs with Purdy like we talked about. May have let him take a couple deep shots, but I think it's going to be a dink and dunk and possess the ball down the field, kill the clock. And I think that they're going to be able to move the ball more effectively than the Buccaneers. Ultimately, they'll be able to cover that short number. Give me the Niners minus 3.5.
Yeah, Steehn, I agree with you here. I like the Niners minus 3.5 as well. Tom Brady, like you said, just hasn't been getting the job done. I've continued to bet on him all season thinking, hey, he's going to snap out of it and the Buccaneers are going to be awesome. And I continue to lose money on the Buccaneers. So I'm going to stop doing that. I'm going to trust Purdy in this one. I think the addition of Christian McCaffrey really helps him as he just dip and dunked the ball down to him consistently throughout that second half. And McCaffrey continued to make plays. I see that happening again in this one. And I see the Niners covering that spread.
Anybody got a theory on why McCaffrey is not being more successful in the running game? Mason, I'll start. Mason, I'll start with you. What do you got a theory? Anybody?
I think that they were more just. It felt like they have so many weapons that they felt like they could get them more involved if they're just throwing the ball more consistently. When they're handing it off, it just goes to McCaffrey, and their duo of him and Mitchell were actually pretty impressive. I liked that 1-2 punch, and without him, I don't know, maybe teams aren't fearing that as much.
Let me ask you guys this. Are they using him more as a Y than an actual running back? You seen that, David?
Yeah, I mean, he seems like, yeah, exactly. I mean, most of his effectiveness has been out of the backfield catching passes.
And he still got 17 carries last week, but he put up just 66 yards. So, he's not even getting 4 yards a carry, but he had 8 receptions for 80 yards coming out of the backfield and playing a lot. It seems like they sent him in motion line, get him in the slot, get him in the Y position. So yeah. I don't know. It's just kind of random thoughts that I think he's been a little disappointing running the football, but still, like you said, Mason, a hell of a weapon to have. No question.
Yeah.
Dave, what do you got on this one?
I also like the 49ers in this one to cover the 3.5. The under's tempting, but with that number of 37.5, there's not really too much room for error, especially even though I do think that Purdy will do enough to manage the game. There's always a chance you can't make too many mistakes with a total that low. But with the 49ers, like you mentioned, they've got questions at quarterback. McCaffrey has not been as effective as you would have hoped that he could be. But the fact that the way that they're winning, it just shows that this is just a complete team right now all the way around. I'm completely drinking the Kool-Aid with this 49ers team, especially at home. Tampa Bay here coming off of a short week. Keep waiting for them to turn it around, and they just cannot consistently score points. I don't think what happened this Monday against the Saints, I don't see them scoring two touchdowns in the last few minutes against this 49ers team, even get a backdoor cover. Hate to go against Brady. Keep kind of waiting for him to turn it around, but I am not standing in the way of this 49ers team right now, even with Mr. Irrelevant at quarterback.
If I was on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I would simply just score touchdowns. Why don't they try doing that? They waited until the last second to score one against the Saints, and they only won because the Saints traded their first-round pick for a mid-wide receiver, and they still don't even start Jameis Winston. Once again, I am asking the Saints to use this bye week to evaluate Andy Dalton and put Jameis Winston in. If they had Jameis Winston in that game, they could have won the game and been close to the top of the division. This division is anyone's. They can take it from anybody. Just put in Jameis Winston. Oh my gosh.
I had Tampa Bay to cover in that game, and once it became apparent they weren't going to cover, I was really rooting for them to lose. I wanted to see absolute chaos in that dog shit of a division. I just thought that would be excellent. But
it worked. Everything worked out perfectly for what I've wanted the Saints to do. They had the win in their hands, and the failure of the quarterback position lost them that game. And it's perfect. They could have easily won that game with Jameis Winston. And sure, you can argue me against that. They would have scored 30 points if they had Jameis Winston. Easy. I don't care. I'm tired of that. Anyways, 49ers. Doesn't matter. Mr. Relevant, Mr. Irrelevant. He's going to be Mr. Relevant this week. 49ers, all they had to do is score 20 points, and the defense is going to do the rest. They can score 10 points against the Buccaneers. Tom Brady doesn't know where he is. He thinks he's still at FTX headquarters. Moving on.
Do you think Brock Purdy goes out to restaurants and somebody recognizes him and goes, "Hey, you're Mr. Irrelevant"? He goes, "Please, Mr. Irrelevant was my dad." I used to do that and mortify the kids. We'd go to a Mexican restaurant and they say Dr. Pepper, and they have Mr. Pibb, and I'd either say, "Oh, Senor Pibb," or I'd say, "Please, Mr. Pibb was my father," and the kids would just kind of slink down underneath the table. That's really helped mold them into fine human beings. Hey, Chiefs are headed out to the Mile High City. Take on the Broncos. Chiefs on the road. Well, they're a 9-point favorite over the Horsies. 43 is the number. Ladies and gentlemen, if I saw a trend that was 11-1, and I did not tell you that that's the play you should make, I would be committing a handicapper malpractice, and you could sue me. So I'm legally obligated to tell you to take the under in this game. We have talked about this ad nauseum. Ad nauseum. That means take regular nauseum, put a little more with it. Ad nauseum. Broncos, number one. Well, actually, they're the number 2 scoring defense right now, I believe, as of this week. But I'll tell you what hasn't changed. They're the worst offensive team in the league when it comes to scoring points. It's not particularly close. They don't really do anything well. They're terrible in the red zone. Their turnover margin is awful. There's really nothing good offensively you can say about this team. The Chiefs, however, as we've seen, have a weird habit of, especially on the road, playing down to the level of their competition. Now, I realize they have gone and dominated Tampa Bay, and they've dominated San Francisco on the road. This is a Denver team that likes to drag other teams down in the mud and wallow around as they lose in the last 5 minutes of the game. The Chiefs, they will win. I don't know that they cover, but I do love the under 43, as it has certainly been a small trend in Denver's games.
Yeah, Steehn, I agree. The under is my favorite play in this one. But if I had to go with the side, I'm going to go with the Chiefs -9 here. Denver, they're frustrating. I can't even talk about them without turning into a rage, so I won't. But the Chiefs, they've had their number since Mahomes has been drafted, and I don't think he's lost to them yet. You can correct me if I'm wrong. But
I would.
But he looks good against the Broncos. I see him scoring 21, 28 points in this game, and I see that covering the spread because the Broncos just aren't going to score enough points. So I'd take the Chiefs -9.
I think it's interesting that the two homers have taken the other teams. Where I'm sitting here off the Cincinnati loss, going, "Fuck those guys! That's a terrible, stupid team. They're not even going to beat the Broncos. They'll take the Broncos in the points." And Mason's like, "I hate this Broncos team so much. They never score. Mahomes owns this. Give me the Chiefs." David, you have no dog in this fight except the one in the dog pound. What do you got in this one?
Steehn, for the sake of time, I'm not going to go on too long about this one. Under 43 is the play for me in this one. You have to just keep riding that trend of unders in Broncos games until something changes. Under was one of my premium picks last week. They had that 10-9 game. I got to go under. I mean, if it's not broke, just keep on riding it. 43 points is a lot. I'm going to get on this probably right away before it even comes down. I know they're playing the Chiefs, but still, I love the under. As far as the side, I'm just going to.
I feel bad about giving out this play every week because I always give out this play in some form or another every single week. And I kind of feel bad about it because, people want, new, interesting, and, I didn't see that angle. But then again, if you had a slot machine and you walked up to it 11 times and it hit 10 times and you doubled your money, would you walk away? No, you'd keep playing the stupid slot machine. So, yeah, I just can't get behind anything else here. Rock, what do you got?
I'm going to look at this from a mathematician perspective. What's been the Broncos' magic number that we keep talking about? 18. If they had scored 18 points, they would have won a bunch of games. You give the Broncos 18 points in this game. You give the Chiefs 9 points. That equals 27 points. The Chiefs are averaging 29.2 points per game. 29.2 is more than 27. Therefore, I got the Chiefs.
Okay. That's sort of logical, and then you kind of fell apart there. But yeah, it's okay. That's you're starting to handicap there a little bit, Rock. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Okay, very good. Rock's got the Chiefs -9. David and I are on the under. Mason's on the under as well, but he's takes the Chiefs as well. So I'm the only one on the Broncos here for the record. And last but not least, the game's so fantastic, they've decided to play it on Monday night, where everyone gets an opportunity to see it. It's the Patriots heading to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. Patriots 1-point road favorites. 44.5 is your number. This Cards defense is leaking oil right now. 29.8 points per game is how many they've given up over the last 6. And they are getting gashed by anybody with a decent running attack that is committed to it. That's always what Belichick wants to do first and foremost. And coincidentally, in those 6 games that the defense has been getting gashed, they've all gone over. That's right. Cardinals have hit the over the last 6 times. Yeah, it's always a crapshoot taking the over with the Patriots because you're not going to get an offensive explosion. I think the Cardinals defense will be the great equalizer in this one. I'll take the over, 44.5. Patriots and the Cardinals.
I like that pick, Steehn. I'm actually going to take a side here. I'm going to go with the Patriots -1. Is like you said, if they can commit to that running game, continue to get the ball to Stevenson, I see them consistently moving down the field and scoring multiple times throughout this game. The Cardinals, I just haven't been a fan of them this season. They've continued to slide in the wrong direction, and then they'll pop up and be all right, and then they'll slide back down again. I just don't trust them in this spot. I like Belichick in a primetime game. I think he's going to put together a good game plan. The Patriots going to cover that spread on the road.
I agree with you, Mason. I like Belichick in a primetime game here as well, especially after dropping the last 2 primetime games head-to-head. I don't think that it's going to happen again here. I hate this Cardinals team, to be honest with you. They're 1-6 at home straight up. In a situation like this, we're getting this 1 point. I'm back in the Patriots.
Is Kyler Murray playing?
I believe the last time I checked, he was.
He is.
He is.
I was banking on him playing.
Yes.
I still think they're losing.
Okay. Yeah, I would agree with that. I'm trying to see if he's on the report. Currently, he does not hold an injury designation. Of course, I know they don't come out officially till Wednesday, but
all right.
So
that changes it slightly. Except even with Kyler Murray, the Cardinals have looked like garbage. Cardinals, another one of those teams that can get eliminated from playoff contention with a loss. I think the Patriots are the ones to do it to them. Evil Bill Belichick's going to ruin all of the Cardinals fans' hearts this year. I got the Patriots again.
Very good. You know, this Cardinals team, Murray drops back to pass. He goes, well, I've got DeAndre Hopkins. I've got Marquise Brown, Rondell Moore. And he's like, I wonder what Dortch is doing. Is Dortch open? Let me get Dortch the ball. Jesus Christ. So, I don't know. I don't know why the Cardinals can't win. Anyway, hey, that's the show, guys. Monday night wraps it up. As always, we appreciate you stopping by. And I don't believe I've admonished you to do many things during the course of this show. One thing I have not admonished you to do, if you would please hit the like button. Hit the thumbs up. Give us the thumb. That's the kind of approval that Rocky needs. He desires and craves that approval. So give us a thumbs up. Give us the like. Of course, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And take advantage of all the great things. No House Advantage is cool. Get the newsletter. Get some premium picks. For God's sakes, just spend some money. Go win some money on all these great picks we've given you and spend some of it. That's what we're saying to you. So, hey, thanks for watching. As always, Mason, thanks for joining us today. Where can we find you, Mason?
Yes, Dean, you can find me on the Winners and Whiners main website as I'm writing articles every day. You can also find me on Twitter at Mason Folz and on the Winners and Whiners YouTube account. So I'm putting out a free pick every single day.
And David, I'm assuming you don't want your thousands of fans joining you down there in Houston, so maybe they could find you on the internet somewhere. Where would that be?
You can come down and join me if they'd like to. But you can follow me at Get Sports Strong on Twitter. You can also follow me, winnersandwhiners.com. Check out the articles, writing articles each week. Expert section, you can check out my premium picks, the plays that I'm personally on each week, and for that expert section there. So winnersandwhiners.com along with Get Sports Strong on Twitter and YouTube.
All right. And Rocky, your tens of fans, I know they want to keep track of your comings and goings. Where can we check you out?
I'm Rocky Foré on Twitter as well as TikTok. You can find me there. You can also not find me trying to smuggle myself into Tanzania in a cat backpack.
Not find him there. I like how you at first said snuggle your way in. Rocky has snuggled his way into Tanzania again. What's now?
If I get caught, that's how I get away from the cops.
No cause too big, no cop too small to snuggle. Very good. Okay, that's it. That's the show. You guys, thanks for watching. We wish you nothing but the best. Remember, we shoot this on Tuesday. Keep an eye on that injury report. Keep an eye on those lines because whatever we tell you today, it could be absolutely irrelevant by game time. But we try to do our best. We appreciate you watching. I hope you enjoyed the sketches. Don't forget to comment. Win that $100. We'll see you next week on Once Upon a Time in Las Vegas, the rise of the greatest sports betting show in the world. Take care. Have a great week, everybody. See you then.